What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with the official competitors list for the next Olympia qualifier. And that is going to be Italy Pro, which is scheduled this upcoming weekend. And the one name that stands out the most here, that is Rubiel aka Neckzilla. Now I know many people out there, they were not very impressed with his conditioning at this year's Dubai Pro Show. But him just committing to another show, that itself, that is a win for him. And honestly, if he can tighten up a bit more, if he can bring more conditioning, which is something that he's supposed to do, as he's gonna be dieting for one more week. So if he comes in with more detail and more separation, this I must say is a very good chance for him to win his first Pro Show and secure his Olympia spot. So the other name that stands out, that is Presti, who just finished second at this year's China Pro Show, which was scheduled on the same weekend as Dubai Pro. Although you have got to feel a bit bad for Presti, as he's gonna have to stand next to a guy who has, without any shadow of a doubt, the biggest legs in bodybuilding at the moment, and the lower half of Presti that we all know is a very weak body part. That is his biggest weakness. But on the other hand, Presti most probably is gonna be in a superb condition. So another guy, Adolf Burhat, he looked awesome at this year's Dubai Pro Show, although he was outside of that top 7. But he can certainly be in the mix at this upcoming show. Now it is actually very shocking to see neither Muhammad Fadha nor Nathan Diasha in that show, because any one of these guys, they could have easily won this show. So Nathan is very frustrated with his Dubai Pro placing. Now we get it. But that is easy money for him and also another pro win on his resume. Now if there is a visa issue with Muhammad Fadha for Italy Pro, then him skipping this show, that is totally understandable. But if that isn't the case, then I'm afraid it can cost him his Olympia qualification for this year. But if I'm not mistaken, I do remember him saying that he did not get his visa for Europe. So Muhammad Fadha worked with Patrick Tour for merely 2 weeks, and he still brought one of the best looks of his career. So he could have been a very big favorite to win this show, and we all saw his potential, especially when the judges compared him to Behrouz Tabani. I guess Muhammad Fadha wants to have a proper off-season with Patrick Tour, but this could have been done after he did probably 1 or maybe 2 more shows, but maybe he has some other reasons that we do not know about. Now the same can be said about Ali Edward too. So his coach and his team telling him that he could be top 3 at this past Dubai Pro, that in my opinion was totally delusional. I mean, this is a show, Italy Pro, where Ali could have been in the top 2, possibly fighting for the win, because he was placed right behind Rubiel at this year's Dubai Pro Show. And it is shocking to even consider that all these guys, they already knew that Italy Pro is scheduled just 1 week after Dubai Pro, and still they all did not plan to do this show. So what do you guys think of this lineup? Could this be Rubiel's show? Or can Presti beat him? So the Tampa Pro this year is getting bigger and bigger. So add Emir to the list of those guys who are gonna be doing this upcoming Tampa Pro in 6 weeks time. And based on his past record, one can absolutely guarantee that he's gonna be one of the hottest and one of the most conditioned guy in that lineup. So this is another guy who really pushed his limits during this past off season. So this update that we are seeing right now, that is when he was 9 weeks out. So about 3 weeks back, when he weighed 324 pounds. So does that make Emir the youngest IFBB pro to hit over 320 pounds? So not many people out there know this, but Emir is just 26 years old, and his ability to get bone dry and absolutely shredded, and that too in every single show that he enters, that is truly unbelievable. Now he doesn't have the most ideal structure, so he's trying to come in bigger, more muscular, while at the same time bring that same level of conditioning that he's always known for. So he came very close to winning his first pro show last year. He has placed runner-up twice in the last couple of years, and here the man is again about to enter in one of the most competitive lineups that we are gonna see this year. So what do you guys think? Can Emir win his first pro show this year and make it to this year's big show? So Hosstile just revealed his current weight in the latest physique update that he just posted, 106 kgs at the moment, and he's all natural, and that means he's running only TRT. So that is what natural means in this day and age. But if his weight is actually 106, he would have no problem making the weight cap for classic physique. Now, if I'm not mistaken, his cap must be somewhere in the 220s, so he's in the 230s at the moment. So this should be easy work for him, making the weight, unlike last time, when he failed to make the weight cap. Now you also have to consider that the last time when Hosstile decided to do classic physique division, the new weight regulations for classic, they weren't introduced. So this time he's gonna have a bit of wiggle room, a little more weight cap. So he's gonna have a bit more of an edge from that aspect too. So this also shows that Hosstile making this switch from the men's open back into classic physique, that decision wasn't made in a hurry, and that wasn't made recently. It must have been made a few months back, and he must have started to come down in weight very slowly and steadily, as at the peak of his off-season, Hosstile was weighing in the high 280s. And that is something that also reflected in his physique in the last couple of shows that he did, which were in the post-Olympia tour last year. So how will he do in classic physique with that waistline, considering that Dora, a former 212 athlete and a former Olympian, he won a classic physique show just a few weeks back and he qualified for the Olympia this year. And the fact is, he has a pure 212 look. Now we can expect Hosstile to possibly win a show and qualify for the Olympia this year in classic physique. But do let me know, what did you guys think? Next up, we have another update from Brazil, and this time it's one of the favorites from Brazil, Ramon, at 16 weeks out from this year's Miss Olympia. So the current size of his delts, they are gonna blow away your mind, especially for a classic physique competitor. And the man is looking so damn lean for 16 weeks out. Now it makes total sense for Ramon to start his diet earlier than usual, because this is the first time since 2021 that he did not do the Arnold, and he went through a full off-season, a full proper cycle for the growing phase. So now he has to make sure that he is within that striking range of his weight cutoff for classic physique, so that he doesn't have to rush things when he is very close to the Olympia. So all that time off this time, that is supposed to make a big difference in Ramon's physique overall this year, because he finally gave his body the much needed break, a proper rest, and he went through a proper detox phase. Now the fact is, he failed to peak 100% in all three of the shows that he did last year, the Arnold, the Olympia, and that one show in the post-Olympia tour. And he was majorly missing in terms of the density on his physique. Well, looking back at his look from back in 2023, which was the best one of his career, he had almost everything. He even posed a lot better against Chris Bumstead at that show. And the time and the effort that he has been dedicating towards posing and presentation for this year's Miss Olympia, this is supposed to make a big difference, and he's supposed to bring the best presentation of his entire career at this year's Olympia stage. Now a lot of people out there have been sleeping on Ramon simply because what happened last year, and they have forgotten that he did give Chris Bumstead a run for his money back in 2023. So I for one am very excited to see what Ramon can bring to this year's Olympia stage. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.